Hello, everyone, and welcome to another short and impactful AWS hands-on demo brought to you by DevOps Easy Learning Training Institute. In this series, our goal is actually to help you build confidence with real AWS services, one small practical demo at a time. So these short videos we've designed just to help gives you some hands-on experience and a solid foundation as you begin your journey into the cloud and DevOps. Now, what we going to be doing today, it's a little different. We will be looking at a new service. And today we'll be working on one of the most fundamental services in AWS, which is called Amazon S3, which stands for Simple Storage Service. But instead of using it just to store files or backups, we're going to be doing something a little more fun and very real world scenario like we're going to be hosting a static website directly from an ES3 bucket. And it's going to look something like this when it's done. This is just a sample index.html file that we will be using and creating a website, static website that is globally reachable. In just a few minutes, you're going to learn how to build this kind of a website. And we have a step-by-step demo right here for you today. We're going to create an S3 bucket. We're going to upload and manage HTML files in that bucket. We're going to enable static website hosting and make that content publicly accessible through a browser. And now by the end of this demo, you will have a live website running entirely from AWS with no servers, no backend, no code deployment pipeline. Now, without wasting much time, let's get on the console and I would just want you to go into here and search for S3, just like that. And you'll see this service option. You select that and it's going to bring you right here to the home page. Now, why is this important in a real world? Let's talk about this before we actually jump on the demo. So hosting a static website on S3 is something developers and DevOps engineers use every day. Now, it is a common practice amongst developers to find a way to quickly deploy a website that they can use for documentation, they can use as a landing page, or for product marketing sites, or sometimes even for temporary testing of their own environment. And the best part, it's completely serverless. It's low cost and it takes less than 10 minutes to set up. This is also going to be your first exposure to a cloud native architecture for those of you who are still new in the cloud. Here, we're not going to use any EC2, no server management. We're just going to upload our code and boom, it will be live. Now, in this demo, we will not only host the website, but we will add a bit of flavor now with a dynamic visual and personalized message, like I just showed you. It's going to look something like this, and I will share this code with you guys so that if you want to be able to deploy something just like that, you should be able to do the same. Now, without wasting much time, let's get on the console. But first and foremost, some prerequisites. You must have access to an AWS account, and you must have permissions to be able to create an S3 bucket. You have those two prerequisites locked down, then you go to write this demo with me. Now, like I said, look for the service AWS Amazon S3, and now we're going to create a bucket. And to create a bucket is as simple as going right here on the Amazon S3. You see where this orange button says create a bucket. Click that and you're going to give it a name. Now, the thing about S3 buckets and their names is that these buckets tend to be globally available. So when you're creating a bucket, you have to pick a very unique name that no one else anywhere has picked. And in our case, I think we're going to try with this. Let's see if we have a bucket, if we have this bucket name available. So static. website. Now, if this, you don't have to use this name that I'm using. You can come up with your own unique name for your own website. And just like that, hopefully my static website demo 2025 should be available. Now, in terms of object ownership, you're going to leave it just as it is. All objects in this bucket are going to be owned by this AWS account that I'm creating it in. Access to this bucket and this object is specified only using policy, and we want to leave it that way. Right now it says block public access setting for this. We For hosting our static website, we definitely don't want this, but for now we're just going to leave this just as it is and go all the way down. If you like, you can enable bucket versioning. It's actually really good, especially if you're updating your HTML script from time to time and you want to have the old versions as well as the new versions present in your bucket. Now, other than that, you want to make sure the server-side encryption with Amazon S3 manage key is selected, and for bucket key, let it be enabled. And under the advanced section, you see the option to actually object lock, which means that when you lock these objects or whatever files or folders you're going to put in the bucket, they remain immutable until you set a time frame from which someone else will be able to go in there and make changes to that object. This is not going to be a class where we'll be talking about the governance and the compliance method, but just so you know. And with that, that's all we need to do. We're going to click create bucket, and the bucket should be up in very few seconds. And as you can see, this is the bucket right here, my static demo 2025. Now that the bucket has been created, we are going to upload a file. I do have an HTML file on my system, and let me show you guys what it looks like so you guys can have an idea what it looks like that I'll be uploading into the bucket. This is it right here, and as you can see, it's just simple index.html script that I wrote, and it's just gonna have some background, dynamic background, with some confetti and a write-up that says, "Welcome to a simple static website, powered by DevOps Easy Learning Institute." So this is going to be the script that the index.html file that I will be uploading into my bucket in a second. And it's as simple as either you click to upload, or you can just drag the file from your desktop onto your computer, in your console. In my case, I have it on my desktop. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to click the upload button right here. And now I'm going to just click and drag. And this is my index.html file. And now I can upload it to the bucket. And you will see in a few seconds that we now have the index.html file right here. Now that we've uploaded the file, we need to now start to, check on the properties and the permissions of this bucket that will allow us to be able to host this HTML file as a website. First and first, we need to set the properties on the bucket. So I'm going to go to properties right here, and I will scroll all the way down to where it says, give me a second, not properties actually. I want to do this last. I'm going to go to permissions first, and I'm going to, remove the block or public access of it. And right here, I'm going to select that and unblock this and save the changes. And now confirm that I'm okay with allowing my bucket to be public. And now I would also upload a bucket policy that will allow only get object permissions on this bucket. So let me click edit, and I am just going to copy. I have the code written somewhere, the policy written somewhere. I'm just going to take it and dump it here in a minute, and I'll explain what the policy is doing. Now, this is my bucket policy. It's a very simple S3 get object, which means it's saying anyone, any individual entity or anyone that's trying to access this bucket, they have been all been given the S3 get object. So there is no put action. So I'm okay with this because you definitely need this action allowed if you want to host your static website in your bucket. The next thing is the ARN of the bucket that we will be providing. So I am going to do this. I'm going to open this in a new tab and get the ARN of my bucket. And it is right here. Go to properties and I can see the ARN of my bucket right here. I'm going to copy this and go back to my policy and just simply highlight this and drop it there. Now remember, this / asterisk sign is telling everyone who's trying to make, communicate with this bucket that, look, you are all allowed to reach into this bucket and reach into the content that we have in the bucket. All right. So with that, we are set with the bucket property permissions and policy. Yeah, I made some adjustments because I noticed that the policy was actually not well, the syntax was messed up, so I kind of corrected it. As you can see, this is how it should look like. Now with this set, I am going to save this bucket policy. And now my bucket policy is in place. The block or public access is off. Now we can go and change the properties to enable static website. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom here where it says static website hosting. Click edit and I'm going to click enable and save this. Before I save it, I want to point to the landing page of my static website. So when you notice when I was uploading my bucket, my index.html file, it's not in any folder. So it's in the root folder of my S3 bucket. So I am just going to point directly to this file in my configuration right here, index.html, just like that. I do not have an error.html file, so I'm just going to leave that as is. Hosting type, it's going to be host a static website. That's fine. And I'll scroll down here and save. Now, with that done, you see AWS is now going to provide me a URL endpoint for my static website. So let's go back to properties right here and scroll all the way down, and you will see the URL has been provided for you for accessing your web page. So if I click this right now or opening a new tab, you will see my website will become hosted live. And guys, that is how you host a static website. This is a pretty quick demo, and as easy as it is, that is how wonderful and useful it is in a lot of places. Now, so with this information, I hope you guys are able to go out there, practice on yourself, be able to create your own static website and keep pushing, keep moving forward. Yes, as we learn, we would bring new ideas and new demos for you guys to practice and get better in the cloud. Thank you for sticking with us today, and I will see you guys in the next series.